Today we're going to continue learning about technical texts, and we're going to think about how following and understanding the steps in a process can help us to understand how to do tasks in technical texts. As we're thinking about the text, we're going to think about what step we hear and why that step is important at that time in the text or the procedure. What would happen if that text weren't in that order? Would you be confused on how to do the task? Why? You'll get to have a little fun as you're reading today too. Notice that our title is Drawing and Learning About Dogs Using Shapes and Lines. So this technical text is going to be teaching you not only about different types of dogs, but also how to draw them. Get ready to listen along and think along, and after every page, you're going to have an opportunity to stop and try to follow the steps in the procedure. Here we go.
Drawing and Learning About Dogs Using Shapes and Lines by Amy Bailey Muhlenhardt. Basset Hound. The Basset Hound is a medium-sized hunting dog. The hound has a keen nose for smelling things far away. Hounds have thick coats. They are great family dogs. Step 1. Draw an oval for the head. Draw a smaller oval for the snout. This oval should overlap the first oval. Add 2 long ovals for the ears. Step 2. Add a circle for the chest and an oval for the body. Step 3. Add 2 squares for the short front legs. Draw 2 ovals for the front paws. Step 4. Draw a circle and an oval for a back leg. Add a crescent tail. Step 5. Draw arcs for the eyes and a triangle for the nose. Connect the shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Step 6. Using the side of your pencil, begin shading. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue shading. Basset hounds have wavy lines under their eyes. Smudge the lines with your finger.
All right, so let's stop and think. And after you stop and think about this, then you can go ahead and try to give it a sketch following the steps that were presented in the text. So think about it. The numbers and dates here in the steps really help us to know the order of the steps. This author decided to give us the numbers in order on separate little notepads to help us follow the number order of the steps. But think about it. Why do those steps need to be followed in that order? Yeah, right. The author was giving us kind of the largest parts of the dog first and then adding details as we went further along. It wouldn't make sense to start shading here if we hadn't yet drawn the big parts of the dog. All right, now you can pause the video and give it a go. Now remember, yours is not going to look exactly like the illustration in the book. This illustrator has been practicing for many years. You are just learning how to do sketches using some shapes. When you're ready, go ahead and hit play and continue on to the next dog.
Bulldog. The bulldog came from England. It is a very courageous dog. A bulldog has a short and powerful jaw. The bulldog is known for being gentle and affectionate. Step 1. Draw a rectangle for the body. Draw a circle for the head. Step 2. Draw a smaller circle for the snout. Add 2 triangle ears. Step 3. Draw 4 rectangles for the legs and 4 squares for the feet. Step 4. Draw 2 arcs for the eyes. Add a triangle for the nose. Draw 2 crescents for the mouth and tail. Step 5. Connect the shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Add curved lines for the sagging cheeks. Step 6. Using the side of your pencil, begin shading. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue shading. Make the eyes, nose, and mouth darker than the rest of the face.
Wow, I'm beginning to hear some again and again, as it seems that the author is following a pattern in the steps that are being given and the order of the steps. So that pattern that you hear again and again, repeating on each page, is going to help you to predict the steps that are given and how to draw each dog. Notice that step 1 starts with some very basic shapes. Again, giving the basic shape of the dog. So when we think about why is that step important at that point in the process, it's to give us the outline or the big shape of the dog. Did you notice any other numbers or date signposts and stop and think about why the author included them? That's right, I noticed here in step 4 that the author included some numbers and dates that tell us how many body parts to add. 2 arcs for the eyes, right? 2 crescents for the mouth. So the author wanted us mouth and tail, right? So 1 for the mouth and 1 for the tail, right? So the author is giving us that exact number to tell us how many to draw. All right, give it a try. And remember, yours is just a practice following the steps. It does not need to look and should not look like the illustration in the book. I wonder what type of dog will be next. Let's read and see. Pause the video and read on when you are ready.
Standard Poodle. Poodles come in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. The largest poodles are called standard poodles. Standard poodles are friendly, intelligent dogs. They have coats that do not shed. Step 1. Draw 2 circles for fur on the head and body. A poodle has fluffy fur. Step 2. Between the 2 circles, add a triangle. Draw 2 ovals for ears. Step 3. Draw a rectangle for the body. Draw 4 rectangles for the front and back legs. Add a crescent tail. Step 4. Add small circles for balls of fur on the feet, tail, and back. Draw small squares for paws. Step 5. Connect your shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Add small, dark ovals for the eye and nose. Step 6. Lightly shade in the fur. Draw curls in the balls of fur. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue shading. Smudge the lines with your finger.
All right, readers, so another pattern that I'm noticing in this technical text is that before the author begins to give us the steps in the process or procedure of drawing, The author gives us information about each type of dog. So on each page now, it seems like we can predict that first we will learn the type of dog, and then we will learn some details about that dog, and then we will learn how to draw that dog. So this predictable structure of the text can help you to understand as you read. The topic of this page, what this page was all about, is the standard poodle. And then up here, the author gives us some details that teach us about that poodle. And then the author gives us the steps in the process for how to draw this type of dog. You know what to do. Go ahead and give it a try.
Golden Retriever. Golden Retrievers are powerful and active. They are very friendly toward people and even other dogs. Golden Retrievers are very intelligent. They love to run and play. Step 1. Draw 2 circles for the head and snout. Add 2 ovals for ears. Step 2. Draw an oval for the lower jaw. The oval should overlap the circle. Step 3. Draw an oval for the tongue and an oval for the upper part of the body. Step 4. Draw 2 ovals for eyes and an oval for the nose. Step 5. Connect your shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Draw the nostrils with curved lines. Step 6. Begin adding short, wavy lines for fur. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Shade in with your pencil. Make the eyes, nose, and mouth darker than the rest of the face.
So let's stop and think. And let's focus on step 5. In step 5, I notice a part of the step in the process that tells us to connect your shapes. Why is it important to have this step here? What does it do for the drawing? Why could this not be the last step? Why could this not be the first step? Think about why this step is important here. That's right, you might be thinking that this step is important here because it takes the basic shapes that we've had in step 1 through 4 and makes them begin to seem more like a realistic dog. We couldn't do that right away, and we couldn't have that at the final step because there's still some oval shapes that would need to be taken away before it looks like a real dog. Go ahead and give it your best go. Remember, practice makes progress. This is not supposed to be beautiful art, although yours might be. And the goal is just for you to be proud of giving it a try, following the steps in the procedure.
Dalmatian. Dalmatians are strong, active dogs. Dalmatians are white with black spots. They have short, smooth coats. Dalmatians are very outgoing. Step 1. Draw a rectangle for the body and a square for the neck. Draw a circle for the head. Step 2. Add a square for the snout. Draw 2 triangles for ears. Step 3. Draw an oval for the back leg. Add 2 smaller ovals for the back paws. Step 4. Draw 2 long rectangles for the front legs. Add 2 squares for the front paws. Don't forget the crescent tail. Step 5. Connect your shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Draw an arc for the eye and an oval for the nose. Step 6. Draw circles and ovals for spots. Shade in each spot with your pencil. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue shading in the spots. Darken the nose and eye.
How do following these steps in order help you to learn how to draw a Dalmatian? Think about it. Now give it a try. You're doing great.
Airedale Terrier. Airedale Terriers have short, wiry coats. They were first used for hunting in England. The Airedale is known as the king of all sporting dogs. Step 1. Draw a rectangle for the body. Draw a triangle for the neck. The triangle should overlap the rectangle. Step 2. Add a rectangle for the head. Draw a triangle for the eye and an arc for the nose. Step 3. Add 4 long rectangles for the legs. Step 4. Draw a crescent for the tail. Add 2 triangle ears. Step 5. Connect your shapes with a darker, sketchy line. Step 6. Add short, sketchy lines for fur. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue adding short lines to shade in the Airedale. Darken the eye and nose. Add a curved line over the eye. Smudge the lines with your finger.
All right, let's stop and think, readers. Look at steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why do you think the author and illustrator on this page, with the steps in the process for an Airedale Terrier, asked you or asked the reader to use rectangles? Why do you think so many rectangles were included in the steps for this type of dog? That's right, hopefully you're thinking that this type of dog does seem larger and boxier than some of the other types of dogs, especially the Poodle, that use so many ovals, right? When we look at this dog in real life, it does seem to have a more boxy shape. So the author specifically and purposely decided to have the reader use rectangles in their sketch. So take a look at those steps 1 through 4 and think about how important it was to have that specific detail of rectangles there in those beginning steps. All right, now you give it a try.
Chow chow. Chow chows are powerful dogs used for hunting, protecting, and herding. Chow chows make wonderful family pets. They are very loyal. Step 1. Draw a circle for the head. Draw a larger circle around the head for fur. Step 2. Add 2 small circles for the eyes. Draw 3 arcs for the nose and ears. Step 3. Add a circle and oval for the body. Draw an upside-down arc for the tail. Step 4. Draw 2 ovals for the front legs and 2 rectangles for the back legs. Add 4 small rectangles for the paws. Step 5. Connect your shapes with a darker, wavy line. Chow chows have a lot of fur. Shade in the eyes and nose. Step 6. Use the side of your pencil to begin shading the fur. Erase the lines you no longer need. Step 7. Continue shading in the fur. Shade in the eyes, nose, and mouth. Smudge the lines with your finger.
Wow, I'm definitely hearing some contrast and contradiction on this page with the Chow Chow, right? Last page with the Airedale Terrier, we talked about the rectangles, and now this type of dog, the author and illustrator specifically decided to use more circles and some ovals, but rounded shapes in steps 1 through 4, as we're getting the basic shape for the dog. And that's because when we look at this final step, when we look at the final step of step 7, we're able to see what the dog might look like in real life. And if we look at that, we can notice the more rounded shape of the dog and the fluffy look of the dog. Follow those steps in the process and give it your try.